up everyone and welcome to DC's Comics. If you've come here based off my previous video, awesome. And if not, then welcome to the channel. This will be a video about me, D, seeing Star Wars comics. So, essentially, DC's Star Wars comics. In this video, we'll focus on the state of the Star Wars universe from the comics through to all the live action projects. So, let's punch it. I'm just a Padawan standing in front of you Jedi Knights, asking if you'll be his Jedi partners. Also, if you're anything like me, you're quite a Padawan in this universe too. And as a kid, and even now, who doesn't want a real lightsaber? Safety issues aside. No, not those ridiculously cool glow sticks I see that everybody but me has, that you could share with me, for safekeeping of your reputations. Or who hasn't wanted a duel to the death on a lava planet? Oh, okay, maybe it's more of the former than the latter for most of you. Lame? Oh, so I'm the weird one. But also, if you're anything like me, you're staying on top of all the newly released Star Wars shows and eagerly awaiting the next film. But some of the best Star Wars stories in the galaxy are being told and are unfolding on the comic book pages. They cover a lot of ground quicker than any film or series could ever achieve, as they don't have restraints, no Prisoner Leia vibes. They cover stories across every era of the franchise. And speaking of a lot of ground to cover, that applies to this video, as there is a lot going on. I mean, there was so much insight for myself in putting this together. So if I missed something, help each other out in the comment section. I could make an all-encompassing video, but I know that video would lean toward being super long, especially to cover nearly 50 years of history and material, including 12 movies. Yeah, the first episode of Clone Wars was released as a movie, 7 series of which 3 are animated, and then there could quite literally be a library to house all of the written materials. But if that's what you want, then we can make that happen. In parts. So instead, we'll be taking a quick glance, a sort of overview of the state of the comics and the live action universes. So, let's begin. Let's begin with those very comic book pages. At the time of publishing this, there are 12 ongoing publications of Star Wars comics, starting with the Star Wars comic, under Marvel Comics since 2020, which is a relaunch of the title by the same name that ran from 2015 to 2019, which features the likes of Luke and Leia, R2 and C-3PO, and other characters from the original trilogy. Then there is Star Wars Bounty Hunters, which, surprise surprise, features bounty hunters in Bail Advance, Boba Fett, and Bossk. The Dark Lord of the Sith, Darth Vader, has 2 ongoing comics, with Star Wars Darth Vader exploring Vader's past between the events of Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back, and Episode 6, Return of the Jedi. Then, he also has a 4-part anthology series in Star Wars Darth Vader, Black, White, and Red. But these are just to name a few. I have included a reference for you guys to check out all of the current comic runs, and a link to all the comics that cover that area of the galaxy. For you comic fans, there is a lot going on at current, with a vast library of stories in comics past, which, when I checked, stood at over 300 different comics, with over 30,000 issues. And, as I mentioned in my previous video, we are seeing swift moves from what takes place in said comics, translating soon thereafter to the live-action universe, especially when all of Star Wars' content from April 2014 and on takes place in one universe. So whether the story unfolds on the page, the big screen, or streams on your screen at home, they are all interconnected into one story, one timeline spanning thousands of years. It's important to note that licensed and background stories from the Star Wars universe outside of the original 6 films, and certain materials such as Star Wars The Clone Wars, created before April 25th, 2014, are non-canon, but rather branded as Star Wars Legends, formerly known as the Expanded Universe and also abbreviated as EU. Star Wars Legends has material taking place anywhere from between 36,000 years before The Phantom Menace to 136 years after the events of Return of the Jedi. There are stories that take place at the height of the Galactic Republic, also known as the age or era of the High Republic, through to the rise of the First Order. Or, in layman's terms for us uncultured explorers of this galaxy, that's from a point long before Anakin, aka Darth Vader, through to the last point in the timeline. Dude, come on, man, this isn't even your franchise. You can't even stick to your own multiverse and now you're franchise hopping. So, as I was saying, through to the last point in the timeline, the Rise of Skywalker. A place where we will see a continuation of that story, with Daisy Ridley set to reprise her role as Rey, where she will work toward building a new Jedi Order 15 years after the events of the Rise of Skywalker, and have her questioning how many Jedi actually still exist. This will be one of 3 live-action films announced and will be directed by Sharmeen Obaid-Chinoy, the Academy and Emmy Award winner with her previous works on Saving Face and Ms. Marvel. There are also comics and stories set in each of these eras. There are Tales of the Jedi. And are there other characters in Star Wars? Oh yeah, The Mandalorian. Am I forgetting anyone? Nah, I don't think so. Though I'm sure they have some stories too. Now, let's move on to the live action universe, which is about to really expand. As a result of projects announced at Star Wars Celebration in April of this year, which took place in London, but will skip next year and be hosted again in 2025 in Japan. These projects which start and take us back to the oldest era, the first era, but the newest era to be explored in live action, in a film that will be directed by James Mangold. Walk the Line, Logan, The Wolverine, Indiana Jones, The Dial of Destiny. A story that will take place roughly 25,000 years before any other live action Star Wars story. Titled as Dawn of the Jedi, which will focus on the discovery of the Force and the Jedi learning to wield it, in a story which will focus on the very first Jedi Knights. What's cool to hear is that these films are pretty far along in development and not just ideas being tossed around. Then onto the last of those 3 live action films announced, which will have Dave Filoni at the helm, the creator of Star Wars The Clone Wars, Star Wars Rebels, The Mandalorian, and The Book of Boba Fett. In a film on the New Republic, which all us Disney Plus subscribers will be familiar with, and will culminate storylines that spawned from The Mandalorian, its spin-offs, and the animated shows. Dave is also the creator and executive producer of the upcoming Ahsoka series, dropping on Disney Plus in August. No! Sorry, I queued the wrong clip. Though I am sure that has already dropped on Disney Plus. And as I was saying, with Ahsoka dropping on Disney Plus this August, and Rosario Dawson playing the title character and reprising her role from The Mandalorian once more, which will also see the live action introduction of Grand Admiral Thrawn teased in The Mandalorian, to be played by the very actor that voiced his animated counterpart, Lars Mikkelsen. Skeleton Crew is still set to arrive this year, though no release date has been given, which features Jude Law, Sherlock Holmes, Captain Marvel, Fantastic Beasts, and a younger cast of characters. Coming in 2024, Andor will return with its second and final season, consisting of 12 episodes set across 4 years, and the last 3 episodes set to cover the 3 days before Rogue One. Also, coming to Disney Plus next year is The Acolyte, set in a period between the Old Republic and the prequels, and is pitched as Frozen meets Kill Bill, and is to be told from the perspective of the Sith. Other shows getting another season include Tales of the Jedi, Star Wars Vision Season 3 currently in development, and The Bad Batch snagging a 3rd and final season order. I mean, I'm with you. That's definitely not enough content. But you could move on to the gaming side of the Force and delve into the sequel to Jedi Fallen Order in Jedi Survivor, or await the release date of Star Wars Hunters, the upcoming free-to-play PvP competitive arena combat game for iOS, Android, and Nintendo Switch, set to be released this year. Or you could do what I would do if I had kids. No, not that. Turn them on to Young Jedi Adventures, which looks so freaking cool, even as a show for kids. I mean, not that I've already watched all the episodes to be saying that, which I totally have because it frickin' rocks, and I would have loved something like that as a kid. But if that's not enough to keep you close to a galaxy far, far away from you, then you should go pick up a lightsaber and hone your skills in the Force, and
execute Order 66.
You misheard me. I said, spend some time with your kids. So, we hope this overview has given you a better view on the state of the Star Wars universes from the comics through to live action. We hope you found this video helpful, informative, and enjoyable. And if you did, you can show us your Force ability to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss future episodes. And as always, this is the way. Have a great day.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way. This is the way.